Hi, so this is our presentation, and for our group, our chosen topic was data governance. Let me start with a basic overview of what data governance is. Data governance refers to the exercise of authority and control over the management of data. So the purpose of data governance is to increase the value of data and minimize data-related costs. And from our research, we came across a paper titled Data Governance, a conceptual framework, structured review, and research agenda. The paper was written by three people, that is Corinne Abraham, Johannes Schneider, and Jan von Brock. Basically, their research questions were: what are the building blocks of data governance, and why do we lack in knowledge about data governance? So the paper aimed to address the lack of a holistic view on data governance by developing a conceptual framework for data governance, synthesizing the literature, and providing a research agenda that is for future research. And so, despite the growing importance of data governance, the current view on this topic is fragmented. Publications mostly address data governance with a focus on specific decision domains such as data quality, data security, and data lifecycle. The big three key terms when you think about data and data dimensions. The reasons why data governance is gaining popularity is due to the growing data volumes from diverse sources, which cause data inconsistencies that need to be identified and addressed before decisions are made based on incorrect data. Also, companies continue to introduce more self-service reporting and analytics. This creates a need for a common understanding of data across the organizations. And finally, organizations need to overcome their challenges regarding inaccurate and incomplete data, fragmented enterprise architecture, and legacy systems, and compliance issues related to regulations like the General Data Protection Act, which protects when you're dealing with people in Europe and the countries like those ones. In terms of the methodology used to overcome the deficiencies on the view on data governance in existing literature at the time, Brock and his team conducted a structured literature review of about 145 research papers and practitioner publications from the year 2002 to 2019. And the literature search involved a keyword-based search, which focused mainly on two keywords, that is information governance and data governance, which are usually used interchangeably. The literature search also involved a backward search, forward search, and selecting publications that were not identified through either of the before mentioned searches. And from the research, a conceptual framework for data governance was built, and it encompasses 6 dimensions. I'll talk about them in the next slide. And 6 dimensions can be seen in this conceptual framework. The first one which I'll talk about is the governance mechanism, which basically represents the core dimension of the framework, and it encompasses the structural, procedural, and relational mechanisms, basically how the organization is run. Next, the organizational scope, which determines the expansiveness of data governance in that organization. The third dimension is the data scope, which pertains to the data assets of an organization, what we are interested to govern. And the data scope can be divided into traditional data or big data. The fourth dimension is the domain scope, which covers the data decision domains to which governance mechanisms can be applied. That is the data quality, data security, data architecture, data storage, and infrastructure, and the rest. The next one is antecedents, which are the impacts of the adoption and implementation of data governance. They can be internal or external antecedents, for instance, government regulations and laws, just like GDPR that I've mentioned in a previous slide. And finally, consequences is the last dimension. It contains the effects of data governance. In conclusion, it was discovered that data governance is a cross-functional effort that focuses on data as a strategic enterprise asset. In doing so, Data governance specifies the decision rights and accountabilities for an organization's decision making about its data. Hence, this conceptual framework can help organizations in how to implement data governance and ensure they can get value from their data. Thank you, and that's the end of our presentation.